on this computer. All right, so it looks like I'm recording. Okay, everybody, thank you all for coming. Tonight is Monday, September 30th, last day of September. Y'all had a good month, hey?
Actually, yes.
I can see your stuff. I can see y'all had a good month. That's awesome. And our organization, our team and our organization had a great month as well. So you've got to love fall, you know. Sherry's been through several seasons with us, and so she knows what I mean by you got to love fall. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
So last time we talked about out and about bookings. You know, how to get bookings from various places, how to private message people, give you guys words to say. I'm just kind of curious from the last time that we spoke, how many people added shows to their calendar based on what you guys learned? Sherry, I know you did.
I haven't.
You haven't yet? Have you tried a lot of it, Lori?
I've been like every day I've been messaging like 5 new people, and then following up with anybody that was like a few days back, sending them the host specials for the month to try to get them. Actually, I have to take that back. I have a catalog party, but she wants the stuff now, but it's not closing until November. I just gave my daughter's stuff because she wants the grill pan. So I said, well, if you have the party in November, you can get it for 60% off. And she just got a new job in a lawyer's office, so we'll see.
Okay.
So I have those 2, and I have a couple other that want to have parties, but the timing, they might be at the end of October.
Okay.
But they're not 100% on the books yet.
So do me a favor, Lori, when you are messaging people and you're getting responses back from them, feel free to send me a screenshot of your conversation, because based on that, I can help you overcome hesitations. I can give you the words to say.
Okay.
So if you have asked, 10 or 20 people and you don't have anything solid, this is when you come to your director and say, okay, this is what I've been doing. These are the results. What helpful words can you give me? Because that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Yeah, send those to me. I know, Sherry, you had you have a workshop lined up for the quick cooker.
I just got another person added to it. So yeah, I think so far I'm going to have 5 that do have cookers and 2 that don't. Right. One I know will probably book after coming to this. So awesome. I'm being sneaky about this, and I'm going to bring my quick prep food grater and my blender, which are also 2 of the big products.
Of course.
As well. So I planned a recipe that's going to include other pieces that I'm bringing, so they don't have to bring them, but they can earn them if they book a party.
You're absolutely right. So you're going to be focusing on the quick cooker because it's a workshop for people who have quick cooker, but you can then still incorporate all of your other power tools. Very good idea.
And it's I'm tricking them into realizing that I should have a party. So
yeah, I don't think you're going to have to be tricking anybody. You're going to be inspiring.
There you go. Thank you.
Anybody else have any bookings since the last time? Paula, did you watch the replay, or were you on last time?
I was not on last time, and I have not had a chance to watch the replay. I've been straight out with work and everything else. I do have a party scheduled for the 11th.
Okay.
I do have an open book party right now it opens tomorrow. And that one has a full price blender in it.
Okay.
And I have been making jam and giving them to family and friends and telling them how easy it is to do the canning process.
Yeah.
And that's how I sold the blender at full price.
Awesome.
And everybody's loving it. My sister-in-law is now, because I was at her house and I brought her some peach jam that I made. And she is now like, oh my God, we have to get this.
That's great.
I'm hoping she books a party.
Yes. And, hoping is great, but using direct, and if you go back and look, and everybody listening to this recording as well, if you go back and listen to the recording of the Out and About bookings that I did 2 weeks ago, I posted it in Whisk Warriors, didn't I, Sherry? Did I post the recording? If
I don't
not,
remember seeing the
I'll make
recording
sure I
because it's
do.
online.
Yeah. The words to say and the who to contact and what to say are all in there. So basically, all you have to do is do some private messaging. You don't even have to go physically out and about. It's the private messaging and the offerings and the different types of shows to offer that's really going to get you solid bookings when you want them.
A lot of what I'm getting is book parties, though.
Is that what you want to do?
I don't mind doing the live party. I just said a lot of what I'm actually getting is, I'll do a book party for you.
Okay.
We were at the last meeting at your house,
Mm-hmm.
and we sent out that. I just closed that party that we sent out. I mean, it was a small party. She did not want the host gift. I was like, "Are you crazy?" She goes, "Nope, can't afford it right now, but by all means, give it to somebody else."
Mm-hmm.
I contacted a few people and said, I'm going to put everybody's name in a hat, whoever wants it, and pull out a name, and that's who is able to get it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the thing
And
about
I have a party. I have a book party off of that one.
oh, good. So you booked a party off that one. The thing about when someone says, I will do a catalog show or a book party, what I say to them is, great, we can set you up for that. And so what I say is, we can set you up for a catalog party if you like, but let me tell you the difference between the two, a live party versus a catalog party. And then if you still want to do a catalog party, we'll set you up for that. And I say, a catalog party is where you take the catalog around and you physically bring it around and you get all the orders and you're the banker and you have to get all the money to me and I put the orders in. Seems like a little bit more work for you because you have to be bringing the catalog all around and bringing it to people's attention. However, with a live party, when you have a live party, what you do is you invite a bunch of people. Does not have to be 15 or 20 people, 7 or 8 people, are good for a good size for a party. It's more social, it's more fun. Your sales are always higher with a live party because people get to play with the products and taste what we make. Boom, I'm in and out of your house within 2 hours. And for the people who can't come, you can show them a catalog for outside orders. Now, based on that, which one would you prefer? So what you're saying to them is that there's options. And if they're in it for free products and you tell them a live party is going to get them more free stuff, then they might go, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Let's do a live one. And you tell them it's 2 hours and basically less work for them. If they still want to do a book party after that, fine, set them up. But I just like to give them options and let them know what to expect. So, okay. And again, Paula, if you're, messaging people and you're not getting a lot of positive responses, that's when you get in touch with me and say, okay, I've tried this. What else can I try? Because that's what I'm here for.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're going to be talking more about having a self-fulfilling. Oh, Siri just went on. Cut it out. She's recording everything I just said. We're talking about having a self-fulfilling calendar and how to get bookings at your shows so that you don't have to run around trying to get them outside of your shows. They're called foundational parties. And when you have those parties on your calendar, what you want to be doing is you want to be getting parties from those parties. And I'm going to give you some ideas about how to do it. What you want to do, we're going to be talking about live parties and we're going to be talking about virtual parties. Either way, Pampered Chef did a survey of some of their customers and asked them, or their host and asked them why they wanted to decided to have a party. And what do you think the number one answer was?
Free stuff.
Free stuff. That was actually number 2.
To have fun.
That was number one. So the number one reason why people want to host Pampered Chef parties is the fun. Okay, you don't have to be a stand-up comedian to have a fun party. Seriously, because you are there with your products and you can make it so that your guests supply the fun. I mean, it's great if you do, but you don't have to be funny to have fun. Don't you agree? You can still have fun even if you're not funny. So you want to be focusing on the fun at your parties. So if you need parties, like all of us do, then you need to develop the skills and the habits to make those parties be as successful as they possibly can be. And what do you think it starts with after the party's booked? What do you think? What do you think having a successful party starts with?
Host coaching.
You're right, Paula. Absolutely. Because you want a host coach for attendance, whether it's a virtual party or it's a live party. You want a host coach for attendance because you can be the most perfect consultant on the planet, and knowledgeable and fun and funny and a great cook and the perfect consultant in every way. And I don't know any perfect consultants. But if you are in front of 2 people, how's your party going to go? Well, this person might place a $50 order and this person might place a $75 order. And if you haven't host coached for more people, you've got $125 in orders and probably no bookings. But if you are in front of 8 to 10 people at a live party, it doesn't matter how good you are, how much you know, how good a consultant you are. Just by virtue of the fact that you have more people there, your party is going to be more successful. You're going to get more sales and more bookings and more recruit leads because it's the law of averages. You got more people there, you're bound and determined to get more parties and more recruit leads from it. So the first thing I want you guys to figure out, and you can write it down, you don't have to share it, is I want you to determine how many parties per month would be ideal for you. Remember, Sherry, maybe you remember this too, Lori, at our last training, I said if you walked into a store and the store was selling bookings for $5 a piece, how many would you buy? Right? I wish there was a fairy wand going around like this and going, and you get 5 bookings, and you get 5 bookings, and you get 5 bookings. How many parties would you like to have on your calendar if they were just being handed to you? What's your ideal? I want you guys to write that down. Not how many parties do you think you can schedule. I want you to write down what your ideal number is, parties that you want to do per month. So say you want to be doing 8 parties per month. That's a combination of virtual and live, that's fine. If you want to be doing 8 parties per month, how many do you think that you want to book? How many do you think that you want to have on your calendar if your ultimate goal is 8?
15.
15 would be great. Yep. But I always tell people you want to overbook by 2. So if you want to be doing 8 parties, submitting 8 parties in a month, you want to be booking 10 or 11. Lori, I love it. I would love for you to book 15 parties. I would love to have 15 parties in a month.
Is the extra 2 because you could have a dud for a party?
The extra 2 are for cancellations. So I got to tell you guys, as important as we think our Pampered Chef parties are, we are not the most important thing on your host's calendar. If something better comes along, we just might get kicked off the calendar. I've had hosts cancel on me because their husband got tickets to blah, blah, blah and didn't tell them. Oh my gosh, I have my husband said he's got concert tickets that night. I can't do it. I've got to cancel, or I've got to reschedule. That's the best word, is reschedule. Hopefully they'll reschedule. So you have parties in your calendar, and if you've got 10 parties scheduled, you can almost guarantee that 1 or 2 are going to cancel or reschedule. Lori's right. Maybe one of them will be a dud. By a dud, we mean they don't qualify at all. So our hosts don't get any host benefits, and we basically don't get any commission on that party. So I encourage you to have that number of parties that you want in mind and overbook by at least 2. Because what's the best thing that could happen if you overbook by 2?
They all run.
They all hold. Exactly. And what's the worst thing if you overbook by 2?
2 don't show up, or 2 aren't very good.
2 don't happen, or 2 aren't very good, and what are you left with?
You still have your original number.
Exactly. You still have your original number. So that's a good kind of thing to keep in mind. So, oh, there you are. Hi. This is Colleen's newest consultant on her team, even after Lori. This is Javi, who just qualified, by the way. Just did his 1250 in sales. Congratulations. So who wants to tell us what you should do when one party cancels? What do you do when one party out of that big number cancels? What do you do?
Book another.
You could book another. Or you can say, great, I still have 9 left. I only wanted to do 8 anyway, so that's 1 more than I wanted to do. So if you book 10 and you only wanted to do 8, 1 canceling is not going to make or break your month, is it?
No.
Okay. But what if, let's say, 2 or 3 cancel? What do you do?
Start hunting other people down.
Start what?
You start hunting other people down to have parties.
Okay. And you can do that, and you can also offer an incentive to fill that date. Okay. So say, for instance, you have a party cancel and they cancel a week ahead of schedule. You can say, put on your business page, hey, everybody, I just had a party reschedule. If you can fill this date, I'll blah, blah, blah. Like, bring the ingredients for your show, or give you an extra $20 in free products. So if you've dwindled down to below where you want to be, offering an incentive to fill that date can oftentimes fill the date. Does that make sense? It's not a cause for panic. Also, here's another idea of having lots of shows. If you have lots of shows, or if your calendar is kind of inching up to where you want it to be, when you do have a party, and believe me, I've done 2,791, but who's counting parties, right? I've had months where I did not have a lot of shows booked on my calendar. And I go to a party, and yes, I'm still fun, and yes, I still have fun, and yes, I still give a great show, because I'm thanking my hostess for having a party. So I'm still doing this, but in the back of my mind, I'm saying, oh, I have to get bookings. I have to get bookings. I have to get bookings. And I think sometimes your desperation comes out to people. Even as much fun as you're having, I think they can still smell your fear, or realize that you might be kind of desperate to get bookings. But if you have a fullish calendar and you go to have a party, you still want to get bookings at that party, but you know that you still have bookings on your calendar, so you're more able to kind of relax a little bit. Do you see what I mean? It makes much more sense if you already have sort of a full calendar. Going to parties, you're not quite as desperate for more shows, and that really shows. So remember, pick whatever number is good for you and overbook by 1 or 2 because you're guaranteed that 1 or 2 will cancel on you. So once you are booked for your 30-day period, whatever that number is, focus on getting bookings at the party. Write this down. This should be your mantra. The show is not through until you book 2, right? You don't want to be sending in a party unless you have 2 bookings attached to it. So you want to be securing your bookings at the show, whether it's a virtual party or whether it's a live party. You want to host coach for higher attendance. For a virtual party, you want to coach your host to have 30 people attending because about 10 people will order, and she can get a couple of outside orders as well. If you have 10 people ordering on a virtual party, you're going to have about a $500 party, right? You have to have about 30 people attending to get that 10 people ordering. You guys have all done virtual parties. You know of what I speak with the numbers. So you want to be right off the bat, and Paula said it earlier, first thing you do to make sure your show is a success is to thoroughly host coach. Thoroughly. You want to host coach for attendance, and you want to host coach for outside orders. You got to understand that no matter how new you guys are, you still know more about what it takes to have a successful party than your host. Doesn't matter how new you are. So set a goal with your host. If it's a virtual party, you want to be coaching her that she'll want to invite about 100 people, to have 30 people going, to have 10 people place orders. Give her the numbers like that. Tell her that if 10 people place orders, she's probably going to have a $500 party. It's a $50 average order. Okay? Do the math for her. If she has 5 people place orders, she's going to have a $250 party. Show her what she gets for a $250 party versus a $500 party. And then say, which would you prefer? No one's going to say, nah, I'll take the $250 party. They're going to go, oh, I want that $500 party or even higher. Okay. When you are coaching your hosts, it's sort of like when we're talking to your kids when they were little. You tell them what to do, and if they say why, you tell them why. With a host, you tell them what to do, but you also tell them why. And you go one step further and you give them the words to say. Remember, you guys still know more about host coaching than your hosts do. So you want to tell them what to do, why to do it, and what to say. Okay? For instance, when you're talking to a host, whether it be live or virtual, do the numbers for her. Live party, you say, you want to be inviting at least 40 to 50 people. Because this is why, 1/3 of those people will be able to attend. And then the day of your party, you are guaranteed to get 4 or 5 people cancel. So out of those 40 people you invite, if 1/3 can attend, you're looking at about 15 to 18 who say yes, right? And out of those 15 or 16 who say yes, you're going to get 4 to 5 people cancel. That means you're about down to 10 people. That's a great number for a party. But if you're only inviting 25, which they do, they just invite 25 of their closest friends, right? You can say, great, here's what it looks like if you invite 25, and you do the math for her. 25 people, about 1/3 will say they can come, so that's what?
8,
10, 12. And on the day of your party, you're going to have 4 or 5 people cancel. and you're down to maybe 6 people. What would you rather have? 10 or 11 people at your party or 6 people at your party? Do the math and tell her why. Okay? When you do that, they're going to be saying 6 people or 11 people. Which would I rather have? You're giving her the numbers, you're giving her the reason why. And I tell them right off the bat, you are going to have people cancel on you, so that when it happens to them, they're not feeling like they're a loser. They're knowing that that's what was expected, is people canceling on a live party. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a show that they're expecting 10 people and 18 show up. It just doesn't happen. But if they're expecting 10 people, I'll get there and maybe 5 will be there. It's just the way it works. Somebody's kid gets sick, somebody's husband isn't home on time. That's just the way it works. So you want to set the goal with your host of how many people and why, right? Because of cancellations and virtual parties. Why? Because not everybody sees the invitation. Not everybody will participate, and not everybody will place orders. So set the goal, tell them why, and then again, give them the words to say. So for instance, with each host, whether it's virtual or live, you want to set a goal for 3 bookings. And you say to your host, do you know what you get when people book a party from you? They probably don't. You can say, you're going to get an additional half-price item at every single one of those parties. You want to go for it? Of course they're going to want to go for it. If you gave me a coupon for 50% off at Kohl's, man, oh man, I'd be running up there. I'd want an item at 50% off. So let them know what they get when they have friends book parties from there. Remember, your mantra, show's not through until you book 2. So if you coach your host to get 3, chances are you'll end up with 2, right? Yes, Michelle. Yes, Michelle. Yes, Michelle. Okay, so you set the goal with your host for 3 bookings at each party. On a virtual party, you can have graphics that say, when 3 people book from our host will get blah, 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 offer an incentive. Our host will get a free gift, or our host will get, I don't know, $10 off at your party, or whatever, make up an incentive. And have your host partner with you for that. Because we can give the host words to say to post in her party to encourage bookings as well. We're partnering with our host to try to get at least 3 bookings from every show. So there are graphics running around about that. I think I even posted them on Whisk Warriors. So let your host know that if someone says they can't attend a live party, give her the words to say to get an outside booking. And I can send you this wording, but what I say to her is exactly that. If someone can't attend, let them know that they can either place an order at your party and or they can book a party of their own, because you will get an extra half-price item at their party. And I have 2 to 3 hosts every month who have parties waiting for me, bookings waiting for me when I come through the door from people who can't come. So basically I'll say to her, here's what you can say, and I'll give her the wording. And I will send that to her as a message. So if someone texts her and says, oh, Susie, I can't come, she then follows up with the wording, oh, I'm sorry you can't attend, but you can either place an order or book a party of your own. I can have my consultant get in touch with you if you want some free stuff. Okay? So what did I do there? I coached her for an outside booking. I told her why, and I gave her the words to say. The same system holds true for just about everything. Okay. I have an incentive that I offer my live party hosts. If there are 3 bookings from their party within 60 days of theirs, at that 3rd party, they're going to get any item of their choice up to $50 for free. Do I have to kick in that $50? Yes, but it's not $50, because if there's the 3rd party that's booked, how much commission did I make on show number 1? How much commission did I make on show number 2? How much commission do I make on show number 3? Show number 3 is where I'm kicking in that $50 worth for the host, the past host. Number 1, she gets 10% off right off the bat, because our hosts get 10% off for a year, right? But it's even better because I'm putting her, say she chooses a $50 item. I'm putting that $50 item on the current host order, host number 3, okay, which is on average about 25% off. And I make 30% commission. So I just not take my commission on that particular item. So by the time all is said and done, considering the commissions I've made on those first 2 parties and what I'm kicking in on that 3rd party, it's pretty much costing me nothing out of pocket. But it's an incentive for the host. And I can even send you guys the flyer that I give to my hosts with words to say. Because if she gets 1 outside booking and I get 2 live bookings at her party, she's done it. We've gotten 3 bookings from her party. What happens if we only have 2 bookings from her party? She doesn't get the incentive. She doesn't get the $50 item, but we still have 2 parties booked. And what's our motto? Show's not through till you book 2. Does this make sense to you guys? It's an extra incentive you're offering out of your pocket for 3 bookings. And in the years that I've been doing this, I've probably only had to pay out 3 times. We've gotten 3 bookings, but maybe 1 canceled and didn't reschedule, or the host, whatever. But there's something in it for the host. She's going to encourage all 3 bookings to hold. Mark my words. Okay. So you can be posting that on your virtual parties. You can be promoting the promotion, the half price future party pick that the host gets. At your parties, you want to be offering a theme, whether it's a virtual party or a live party. You want to be offering a theme. So at my live parties, I spread booking seeds throughout the party. And it starts right at the beginning when you introduce yourself and thank your host. So I'd say, hi, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Michelle Weinstein. I've been with Pampered Chef for about 20 years. I'm a recruiter and a trainer, and I'm always looking for people who may want to do what I do, because we're always hiring. So kind of take a look at that. So I want to thank my host, Susie, tonight for having us over. Let's all thank Susie. Yay. All right, Susie, why did you decide to have a Pampered Chef party? She's going to say, and then what I do is I say, Susie, why did you decide to have a Pampered Chef party? Free stuff. I go like that. Free stuff. And she laughs and she goes, free stuff. I said, you're absolutely right. Yay. She loves you all, but she wants free stuff. Woo, woo, woo. Okay. So right off the bat, I'm planting booking seeds. Ooh, Susie's getting free stuff for having a party. Ooh, that's what all the people at the party are thinking. Ooh, Susie's getting free stuff. Yes, we're giving Susie a free shopping spree tonight. For having me over. So you're planting booking seeds right at the very beginning. So then you want to be sprinkling booking seeds throughout your party. The thing that I do that I think really works well is offering themes. So I can say to the crowd, hey, Susie's having a fajita and margarita party, but some of my other parties that I offer are you know, a apple party, what to do with all those apples you picked, or at the holidays, what to do with your leftover turkey party, or a wine, cheese, and chocolate party. You guys make up party themes or look on the party page. But talk about those parties, sprinkle those throughout your party. People love free stuff, but people who love food, their ears pick up. I can see what happens when you say, oh, you can have a wine, cheese, and chocolate party. And they're going, Susie, why didn't you have a chocolate party? Oh, we can have a chocolate party at your house. Okay, so themes work for bookings as well. Write down 3 or 4 themes on an index card when you go to your next party and look down on them and say, hey, we can do a blah, blah, blah at your party. People's ears really perk up for that. Oh, the other thing at my live parties, if at all possible, show the host bonus for the month that you want to book. Okay, so what's on special in October? Stoneware sets and the blender when you get to 550. So guess what I'll be showing? Actually, it's September. I think I still have a couple of October dates to fill, but in September, when I did my parties, I was showing the blender and I was showing stoneware because that's what's on special for October. Guys, do not shoot yourself in the foot and talk about November specials if you still have October to fill. Only talk about the month that you want to be filling. So if you're a live party, you can be talking about what's on special the month you have open. I don't want people shopping around for months. I want them, when they come up to full service checkout, to be booking parties for the month that I want to fill. So all they're going to be hearing from me in October is November, if my October is already filled. Same thing with your virtual parties. With your virtual parties, you want to be focusing on products during that virtual party that showcase the host special for the month you want to book. So say you're doing virtual parties in October. You can still be showing the October host special to your guests at that virtual party, because everybody's got time for more virtual parties in October, right? So you can be focusing on the month that you want to book and not jump over, because you'll have a big old hole in the month that you want to be booking if you do that. Okay, so if you are doing virtual parties, another idea that you can use to get the host in, you know, to coach your host to get bookings is you can be messaging the host with words to say to have her message 5 guests, such as, oh my God, Susie, I noticed that you really love that stoneware. Why don't you have a party of your own? Michelle is really fun. And you can get a free shopping spree. Partner with your host to help you get those bookings at your virtual parties. Okay. The other thing you want to do at your virtual parties is you want to be doing something that will initiate a contact from the guest to you. For instance, at my virtual parties, I will do a live video every day, and I will say something like, you know, welcome to Susie's party. I'm Michelle Weinstein, your consultant for our party, and every day I'm going to do a very quick 30-second Facebook Live video, and I'm going to be giving you guys a secret word. When you message me with the secret word, you're going to get an additional 25 points toward the prize drawing. Doesn't matter what word it is. You can say, the secret word for today is apples. Boom. Post your Facebook party. Underneath it, you're going to comment, watch the video, and message me with the secret word. When they message you, that opens up a line of communication, right? You're not friends with these people on this Facebook party, so you can't private message all of them. But when they private message you, all of a sudden you've opened up the lines of communication with these people. And you, when they message you, oh, the secret word is Apple, you can go, hey, Paula, you're great. 25 points for Paula. She got the secret word. Thanks, Paula. Are you having fun at the party so far? Starting to develop a rapport with that person. You know, how do you like to cook? What kind of foods do you like to make? Maybe she'll say, oh, I really love pasta. Zoom, you go out to your website, you copy and paste a link to a pasta recipe and send it to her in a private message. This is only for that guest. You're developing a rapport with that guest, aren't you? Right? And the only way you can talk to them privately, basically, is you can message them, but if they message you first, then they've kind of opened the door. So develop the rapport with your guests at your virtual parties. Again, have the host kind of help you with that. Send the recipes, connect with the guest. Make sure that you're letting the guests know what the host gets when they book their parties, whether it's virtual or live. When I do my 3-party booking bonus at a live party, I have this flyer that I hold up, and when I'm talking about bookings, I'll say, you know, if you guys have blown your budget and you're on page 5 of the catalog, you might want to do what Susie did tonight and have your own party. Susie's going to get a half-price item at every single one of your parties. And when we have 3 bookings for Susie in the next 60 days, Susie's also going to get a $50 item for free. So all of a sudden, maybe that those people that were thinking about booking a party will now book a party because they know what's in it for Susie. And when I'm doing full service checkout and somebody books a party, I go, 1 booking for Susie. We just need 2 more. Who's doing it? They will book for Susie. Okay, so make sure you know what the, that you are advertising what that is. You're using the booking bonus. I told you that. I told you about attendance. I told you about partnering with your host. Sherry told us the #1 reason why people book parties. Also, you guys, I would love to tell you that at my live parties, people run up to me, sit in my lap, put their arms around me, give me a big kiss on my cheek, and say, hey, Michelle, I can't wait to party with you. Never happens. Nobody's ever sat in my lap at a show. But people will come up to me and say, I will say to them, were you thinking about having some friends over and getting a free shopping spree? And either they say yes, or they say no, or they say, I was thinking about it, but there are hesitations for every single person who might want to book a party. You can help them overcome these hesitations, because as you start to do more parties, you are going to hear the same hesitations. You're going to hear, my house is too small. I don't know enough people. I don't have enough time. What else? Oh, my friends live too far away, blah, blah, blah. We've heard them all. There's survey slips that I can post that are really kind of fun, because this addresses the hesitations right off the bat when you're giving out your survey slips at a live party. They can check off, I'd like to have an in-home party and earn free stuff. Yes, I'm in. My arm can be twisted. I'd love to, but they're going to put their hesitation there, or they're going to click, never going to happen because. That's still a hesitation. When they put their hesitation there, you can be looking at their slip and saying, oh, I see that your house isn't big enough. Or I see that you'd love to have a party, but you feel your house isn't big enough. Did you know that you can co-host with a friend of yours? Quick, simple, easy. You invite all your friends. She invites all her friends. You have it at the biggest house. You have double the amount of people. You split the free stuff. Do you know anybody that you could co-host with? So no matter what their hesitation is, you're not twisting their arm. You're helping them overcome their hesitation. Because if they were a no, they are a definite no. If they're a I'd love to, but, you can help them overcome that. And if you get all befuddled at full service checkout and you don't know what to say to a hesitation, write their hesitation down, expand upon their hesitation, and you can say, if I have a way of helping you overcome the hesitation, would you like to have some friends over next month? Okay, and then get in touch with me and say, I had a party last night and the guest said she'd like to, but blah, blah, blah. I can give the words to say to you to get back to that guest, to help them overcome their hesitations. What if they say, I'd love to, but I can't pick a date right now? Or I'd love to, but I can't right now. My favorite reply to that is, I can't either. I'm going home after this. You guys are a tough audience. So a lot of times they'll say, I can't pick a date right now. And I'll say, well, what month were you thinking? Did you know the month that you wanted? If they say October, I'll say, oh, okay, well, I can let you know what dates I have left in October, which insinuates that you have a very full calendar. And you can say, what night of the week would work best for you? And they might go, oh, a Thursday. You can go, I have 2 Thursdays left. I have the 10th or the 24th. Do either one of those sound okay? Well, I'll have to check my schedule. And I will say, how about I write these 2 dates down for you, and you can take these 2 dates home with you when you check your schedule tomorrow. Is it okay if I text you and ask you which date sounds good to you? I would love to give Susie extra credit if we pick a date before we close her party. Okay, so now all of a sudden you've got a month picked out. She wants that October host special, and you've got a possible night of the week, and you've only got 2 nights of the week on a Thursday that you're free. I mean, two Thursdays that you're free. Do you see how you've narrowed it down without pressure? Because I got to tell you, if I'm sitting down to talk to somebody at a direct sales party and I feel any pressure, I just like, I put the stops to it. I just go, whoa, no, sorry, no. But if I say maybe and they say, what's your hesitation? I don't mind that at all. Okay, so we talked about lots of shows. We talked about how many people in attendance are good. We give the host the words to say. When we're host coaching, what we want to make sure we do is ask for permission to have her have a successful party. Susie, thanks for having a party with me. You know, I've been doing this for a little while and I know what makes for a successful party. Is it okay if I share my tips with you about how to have a successful party? They're more likely to comply with what you're saying if you've asked permission to make it a success, okay? Your host has to have the will. So she has to want to do it. She has to have the skill. You have to teach her how to do it, meaning text message or private message or phone calls. And then you have to give them the words to say. They don't know how to do this, but you do. The hosts do want words to say. You have to educate them. You have to say things like, does that sound like something that would work for you? Or does this sound like something that you could say? They've already given you permission to help them have a successful show. Any part of your business that you want to fix can be fixed by host coaching. If you want to recruit more, got to get more people at your parties, whether they're virtual or live. If you want to have higher sales, you got to get more people to your parties, because the more people at your parties, the higher your sales. If you want to get more bookings, you got to get more people to your parties, because you want to have a self-fulfilling, self-perpetual calendar where you're getting bookings at your parties, so that when you have that next party, it's filling up the next 2 or 3 dates that you have. Isn't that ideal? So you don't have to go shop at Kohl's for bookings. You want to get them yourself. In Whisk Warriors, Sherry, you might know if I posted this. Did I post Sue Moulton's video about virtual parties? If not, I'll make a note to do it.
I saw it on Owl, but I don't know if I saw it on Whisk Warriors.
Okay, so Sue Moulton is someone who, she's not the Sue Moulton who's on Whisk Warriors, there's another Sue Moulton. She has a video of what she does to successfully conduct her virtual parties, so I will post that. I know before I went on vacation, I also posted a document, I think it was a Word document, that if you're having a virtual party, day 1, tell your host this. Day 2, tell your host this. You can follow along with that Word document for virtual host coaching as well. Oh my God, you guys, in the new party show planner, what is it called? Party host. There's host coaching on the new
Host
show.
coaching is on, right. It's along the top tabs.
Oh my gosh, it is amazing. Those of us who have been doing this for a while used to take notes by hand on host coaching. Now, when you set up a party in the little, when you click on your party, there's one of your options is host coaching. Seriously, guys, click on that for every single party that you've set up, and it has check-off boxes. Give the host packet. You know, talk to the host about this, talk to the host about that, talk to the host about this. You can make notes in there for things that you want to talk to every host about. It is amazing. It's all virtual. Those of us who've been doing it by hand, writing it by hand, love this. It's home office sponsored, so you know it's going to be good. Let's see. Talked about connecting with your virtual guests and sending them recipes. And then you can say, hey, have you ever thought about having a party of your own? Remember, you're partnering with your host. Your host wants half price items at future parties. Give her the words to say to help her achieve that. It's going to help you both. Okay, let's see. We talked about hesitations. I'm going to post the survey slip that I was talking about. You don't have to use it, but I got to tell you, it's pretty cool how this is worded. Talked about picking a date. All right, so that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of host coaching. So what 3 things do you find the most important about host coaching? I gave you guys 3 things.
What to say,
What to say.
how to say it, and why.
Exactly. So if you're telling your hosts what to do, you got to give her the activity like, oh, make sure you have about 40 people invited because, tell her why, and give her the words to say. She's clueless. You guys are the experts. Okay, so that in a nutshell is host coaching outside of shows, getting bookings outside of shows, and getting bookings at your parties, whether they're live or whether they're virtual. It's not a party without a host, okay? And she is your best resource for sales, attendance, recruit leads, bookings. Okay, because there's something in it for her for every single booking that she gets. All comes down to attendance, guys. That's pretty much it. You can be the worst consultant ever and drop things and burn things and set off smoke alarms and forget an ingredient or whatever, but if you're doing it in front of 10 to 15 people versus 2 or 3, you're still going to get sales. You're still going to get bookings. Sympathy bookings, maybe, but you're still going to get the bookings. Okay, so these 2 series that we did about bookings, with that in mind, there's an offer to continue with some additional training. Okay, if you guys are looking to get more, if you're looking for more, I will be offering some additional focused training for people who have enough parties on their calendar. in order to get into this second tier of additional training, the requirement is to have 8 parties on your calendar for the month of October. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to message me back. Let me know if this is something that you want to work toward. It could mean a promotion. It definitely could mean additional income. You get 8 parties on your calendar versus 2, you know you're going to be making more money. And if not, what your hesitation is. Okay, combination, live, virtual, whatever. If you have 8 parties on your calendar through the month of October, you guys can get in on this. All right, I'm going to stop the recording.